You don't need
diagnosis.
to be a surgery specialist to see someone's knee bleeding out through their gauze.
Welcome back to Under Oath. Genevieve Lizotte, a University of Minnesota student, endured a severe health crisis in April of 2023. She just had knee surgery. She's bothered in her room. She can't figure out. She's not feeling well. She doesn't call 911. She calls, basically the person in charge of the campus. With like the RAs, resident assistants. She calls them to say, "I'm not feeling well." They show up 20 minutes later. They knock on the door. She doesn't answer. They go, maybe she left.
Mm-hmm.
They walk away. 16 hours later, the parents who can't get hold of the kid call them. They go, "Oh, well, she did call. She said she wasn't feeling well, but she didn't answer the door." They go, "Could you open the door, please?" They open the door. She's septic, covered in blood, almost dies.
You want me to take Genevieve's
I'm not asking you.
point?
Oh, you have to pick a point? Don't you have a point?
Position.
What's your
side.
position?
I'm on Genevieve's side right now.
Are you choosing?
For
Are you choosing to be?
purposes of this show.
No,
I'm
I
gonna
want to
take
know how you
Genevieve's-
really feel.
Well, I do feel that way.
No, not just for
Well,
the
because
show.
I'm a plaintiff's attorney, so I could possibly see.
I want you
I
to
could
take
possibly
this
see
one.
this being
I
the
want you
case.
to see this. What bothered you? You say, "I think you have a case here."
I do think she has a case.
Okay, so what's the
Maybe.
case?
Now, it depends on what those RAs said to, because I know from going to college myself and having kids in college that a lot of times they'll tell the college kids at these campuses, "Hey, if you need anything here, if you need anything at all, we're the go-to people. Here's the number. Call us for anything that you need."
I thought it was just skeevy guys trying to hit on the young girls. Anything
No,
you
I
need.
mean people
You're
associated
sad?
with the school.
You're sad?
They're
Call me
still
up.
skeevy, but they're associated with the school, at least in theory. So, hey, if you have a problem, if I'm having 300 people at an apartment-like complex that is for specifically, say, UCF or whatever college, right? And I say, all right, here's your designated, these folks are here specifically to help you.
My resident
All right?
assistant, yeah.
I tell them, it's probably even on the pamphlet. Hey, call this number if you need any assistance.
Or community advisor. They
Right?
use,
Yeah,
they use it.
community advisor.
Okay.
Here's the number. Call us if you need us. So God forbid that when they actually need you, they call and you don't answer the call. Why are you telling them to call you? Why are you making yourself at least available on paper
You avail
if
yourself
you're
to.
not willing to follow through with what you promised?
So you're saying that's a duty. They've set a duty.
They created, they offered, as part of you living here, we are going to avail ourselves to you. You need anything? Reach out to us. We'll be your liaisons because you're not with your parents anymore. And some of you guys might be kind of dumb because you've been living underneath the roof with your parents and they've been making all the important decisions. So maybe if you need someone's help and mom and dad aren't available, call us over here at this number, right? And they give the number and she calls. And what do they do with the information? Nothing.
I'm deathly ill.
I need help.
I'm deathly ill. I need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the RA should have gotten help.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch
Hey,
this.
I've gotten a call from one of the residents here, 911 ambulance. I might need somebody down here for a medical emergency.
Watch this. One finger. They dialed 10 numbers to get the community advisor
Mhm.
instead of dialing just 3 numbers to get somebody who could actually help them in an emergency.
So you want to call the
that
kid?
every
So
6-year-old
what you're
knows.
saying? So you're saying the kid did make a good decision?
I'm saying the kid's easily responsible for a significant portion of their own injuries.
They don't know enough.
911.
They don't know enough.
They don't know enough to
that's
dial
serious.
911.
Not
Stranger
no, they don't.
danger.
No, they don't.
At 8
Hey,
years
I'm not
old.
feeling well. I don't think I'm dying, but I'm not feeling well. I know I'm in trouble, but I'm too embarrassed to call 911.
How old's your kid?
That's why you
How
have
old's
an
your kid?
adult.
How old's your kid?
That's why you have an adult
Okay.
who makes that decision.
She is an adult.
Not really.
What do you mean not really? She
Not
could she
really.
could go to prison for life. She could be forced into the military.
Yeah, she's 18, I get it, but she's not thinking like an adult. She's still thinking like a kid.
My son is an 18.
So you reach out to who it is that you have been told you can
that's
reach
bad
out
parenting
for,
then.
right?
So we can blame it on
whatever it is.
parenting too.
Whatever it is.
Ugh.
I don't know if I need to call the ambulance.
911.
I don't want to call
I'm
the
sick.
ambulance.
I'm dying.
Because I don't know if I'm
dying.
sick enough to
I'm
call
dying.
the ambulance.
I'm dying. I'm feeling. I'm on the floor.
But
septic.
that's not how she felt.
She did. She goes, I feel awful.
I feel terrible. Someone come help me. I'm too embarrassed maybe to call
What is
911.
the CA going to do?
Make the assessment
Oh, he's gonna call
themselves.
911.
Yes, because he's going to be mature.
Okay.
He's going to see, actually, you know what? We probably need to call 911. Or, you know what? You just need some soup from Publix. You're going to be fine.
Oh, you think the CA has the medical ability to make the decision
You
on
don't
diagnosis?
need to be a surgery specialist to see someone's knee bleeding out through their gauze. She's bleeding out on the floor. She woke
And
up
she doesn't know
in
that.
a pile of her own.
And
She
she
probably
doesn't know
passed
it.
out.
She's sitting there. The knee
No,
is oozing.
she called and said, I'm in trouble. Then it got worse and she passed
Okay,
out.
I'm in trouble.
And then they go to the door, they knock, no one answers. Are you kidding me?
Now she wants
Are you
50,000.
kidding
Now
me?
she wants 50,000.
Well, she
Now they
should
want
get every
money.
penny of it.
Right here. Hold on. I'm looking right here. Vicarious liability. Somebody put 50,000. I guarantee that.
She should get every penny of it. Every penny of it. and
Every
more.
penny of it.
Yeah.
Okay. In the state of Florida, what's the rule?
You guys the rule is if you take a duty, you have to discharge that duty reasonably.
What portion are we not thinking about right now?
What are you talking about?
Comparative negligence.
How was she negligent?
She is at
What did
least.
she do that was unreasonable?
She called. She didn't
was
call
told,
911.
If you're feeling iffy, give us a call. We'll make the decision for you. Okay, hey, I think I need help. Can someone help me?
Has anybody taught
Then
her in her
no
life
help
to
ever
call
came.
911?
What?
Has anybody ever taught her what 911 was for?
You do realize that that person may not have thought that the condition was serious enough to warrant a 911 call, right? Or at least that she didn't know whether or not it was serious enough to warrant a 911 call. 911 call is a big deal. It's a big deal. So I reach out to somebody, hey, help me make the decision on whether or not I need to call 911.
Is it that guy's job to take her to, let's say,
Yes.
the clinic?
Yes. Now,
You think it's
when they,
you think
when
a
no,
RA or CA's job
not,
is to take
not
them to the
unless
hospital?
they agree to it, and that's what they did. They agreed to it. They said, hey, listen, if you need anything, we're here for you.
Call us for assistance.
We're basically your
Call
concierge.
us for assistance.
Yes.
We're not their concierge. What do you think? This is the Hilton?
That's what, yeah, basically
it's
it is.
not.
Yes.
That's not. This is the guy who
That's
happens
how
to be.
they've held
This is some
themselves
guy
out.
with a crappy beard and a beanie. He's not making major decisions for you.
He is.
Oh,
He is, absolutely.
you really think that?
They've held themselves out as a resource
Have you ever been
for
in
the
a dorm?
students to help them out with the big
Were you
decisions
ever in a
life.
dorm?
No.
No. Let me explain what happens.
I was too poor. I
There's-
had to work all the way through college.
Yeah.
2 jobs, by the way.
I went to. I'm not telling where I went to college. I don't want you guys to judge me. The real issue I'm sitting here is going. Eventually, we have to take a certain amount of responsibility ourselves. I mean, if she was younger, let's say she was like 15 or 16, but I think at a certain age, the responsibility has to fall on you. You're going, listen, I just got major knee surgery. Okay, here's the thing.
That person doesn't know, do I need to call 911 for this or not? You might be in the same situation, Jeff. You just had surgery on your
Yes,
foot.
I did.
You might be feeling a little weird. You look at your foot and you go, do I call 911? I don't know. But you're 50 years old. If someone's
Well,
19,
don't make me feel bad about that.
if someone's 19, they
I look good
really
for
are
50 though.
struggling. Do they call 911? Are they making this into a big deal when they shouldn't? And they're going to be embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed, but they're not. Their brain isn't fully developed.
Hold on. You
at
just
18
you
or
just
19.
said something very funny. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to embarrass myself.
She didn't want to be embarrassed by making the wrong decision.
So she made
Calling
a cognizant
911.
decision to put herself in a bad position for another reason.
No, she reached out to
I don't wanna be
people who have
embarrassed.
held themselves out as being
The
available.
beanie guy is going to
to
solve
help.
my medical problems.
That's what he held himself
No, he
out to
didn't.
do.
No, he didn't. We know that when somebody offers to help somebody, a good Samaritan offers to help somebody, and if he doesn't help them, that he could be held responsible. Normally, there's a waiver in place. The Good Samaritan rule allows you to offer help and not worry about being sued later. But
There's
when
an
you
exception
offer
to
when
that,
you
though.
offer to help and you don't help, then you're held responsible. Now, in this case, if I want to view it that way, and I go that way where they said, oh, yeah, we'll help you no matter what, we'll take care of you, and you don't, I think that falls into the same idea of, not having the exception to the Good Samaritan law.
Right. So this young lady was put in a position where she actually had a choice. Do I call 911? Because I know there's nobody else to help me. And it's either call 911 or do nothing. Okay? Or do I call 911 versus calling the RA who's supposed to help me with things like this? And that way I can have somebody else help me make this decision about whether or not I really need to go to the hospital or not.
I am licensed in a bunch of different states, and the answer is different in a lot of these states. For example, in North Carolina, if you're not 99% in the right, you lose. In Florida, you got to be more than 50% in the right. So depending on the state we're in, now I don't know the duty of care in Minnesota. I don't know if it's comparative or not, but if they do lock it down at 50%, and let's say defense counsel for the insurance company, which it will be an insurance company, it's not going to be the school, the insurance company lawyer will make it clear that, listen, she should have done this. But for her not calling 911, we wouldn't be here.
And the counter to that is you put her in a position where she had multiple options. One of the options was to call the RA to get the RA's assistance, but it turns out that was fake. You guys actually had no intention or no ability to help her. So when she made the decision to go with plan B instead of plan A, plan B actually wasn't there. You guys presented a false sense of security for her as a student.